The 2025 Toyota 4Runner redesign is quite possibly the most aggressive, awaited, and anticipated redesign to come for quite some time in the Toyota lineup, next to the anticipated redesign of the Toyota RAV4. And in this video, we're going to review all those big aggressive updates and technology changes, along with the new pricing for the 2025 Toyota 4Runner just ahead. Now, let's make one thing clear. The Toyota 4Runner for us here in Canada and probably North America as well comes in a total of 8 different models, 4 being in the non-hybrid category and 4 models being in the hybrid equivalent, with the only 2 7-passenger options being in the non-hybrid equivalent. So if you want a 7-passenger, it's going to have to be a non-hybrid 25 Toyota 4Runner. If you want a hybrid equivalent of the 25 redesigned next-gen Toyota 4Runner, then keep in mind it's going to have to be a 5-passenger variation. Some major content changes on select grades for 25 Toyota 4Runner is a power rear door with a kick sensor. That's huge. Probably no one ever really saw that coming for any 4Runner of any kind, but it's here for 2025. Power moonroof, you've got heated steering wheel, ventilated front seats, power adjustable steering column, which is very rare to see in the Toyota world and in the Toyota lineup. Standard equipped 12.3-inch full digital clusters, 14-inch touchscreen displays, JBL audio system with the removable flex portable speakers, similar to how we see on the TRD Pro Toyota Tacoma for 2024 and 2025. Wireless charger, panoramic view monitor, and intuitive parking assist with auto braking. These are all standard on select grades for 25 Toyota 4Runner. Some new major content on select grades for the iForce MAX hybrid powertrain systems. Those 4 models that you can get with the hybrid configuration are overlanding specific grades like the Trailhunter. A digital key is also an option when select grades are chosen on the 25 Toyota 4Runner hybrid. Multi-terrain view monitor, locking rear differential, adaptive variable suspension, heads-up display, second row heated seats, and a trailer brake controller with trailer backup guide and straight path assist. These are all standard equipped on select grades when you're choosing your 2025 Toyota 4Runner. Talk about a huge advancement from 24 model to 25 model. Starting off with the first model that you can get in the 7-passenger configuration. This is the SR5 with a Canadian MSRP of $54,200. The next and last only model that you can get in a 7-passenger configuration is going to be the limited grade, stepping you up from $54,200 MSRP up to $68,999 Canadian. Now, the 2 other models that you can get for the non-hybrid Toyota 4Runner 2025 are the TRD Sport and the Off Road Premium. Both of these come in a 5-passenger configuration, as I previously stated, and the TRD Sport has a Canadian MSRP of $59,002, whereas the TRD Off Road Premium has a $63,702 MSRP price tag. Pause for just a second, everyone. Make sure you do yourself a favor and subscribe to the best Toyota channel on YouTube, the Toyota World YouTube channel, for constant cool videos, updates, reviews, and discussions like this. Let's continue on with this topic on the 25 redesigned Toyota 4Runner. Now, keep in mind, if you've been with the Toyota world or in the Toyota world for quite some time like I have, you may realize that the Toyota 4Runner has gone from a V8 engine to a V6 engine and now to a 4-cylinder engine, but still putting out a lot of horsepower, a lot of torque, impressive towing capacity, all while still saving a whole lot of fuel, which we'll go over the fuel economy in just a second. 4-cylinder, that is the trend of the automotive world and the automotive industry. A lot of manufacturers are under some harsh regulations when it comes to emissions control and their footprint on emissions in terms of the vehicles and models that they offer in their lineup. But this goes with a lot of new improvements and a lot of nice changes for the 25 Toyota 4Runner, like Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which is currently the latest and greatest for safety equipment in the Toyota lineup. You also have features that are standard, like active noise control, which we started seeing on the Toyota Crown lineup. This helps to keep the interior cabin way more quiet than the previous generation and previous 4Runners and other Toyota vehicles. Now, keep in mind the previous generation, 2023, 2024, Toyota 4Runners have been known to be a bit on the dated side when it comes to tech and when it comes to safety equipment, but not anymore. Going back to that TRD Off Road Premium MSRP of $63,702, if you spend an extra $3,634 plus taxes, you can actually get yourself into the TRD Off Road Premium hybrid model, which does have a Canadian MSRP of $67,336, and that is the entry level, entry grade to get yourself into the hybrid 2025 Toyota 4Runner with the iForce MAX hybrid powertrain system. Now, comparing to the power plant under the hood of the non-hybrid Toyota 4Runner, the hybrid equivalent has a horsepower rating of 326 horsepower, 465 pound-foot of torque. It's capable of towing close to 6,000 pounds, but not quite, about 5,800 pounds towing capacity. Now, keep in mind, both the hybrid and the non-hybrid are hooked up to a 72-liter gas tank, and they both take regular fuel, which is definitely going to save you at the pump versus putting something like the premium fuel if it's required, which it is from time to time, depending on what kind of Toyota you're driving and what kind of power plant you have under the hood. If I'm not mistaken, our Toyota Land Cruisers do require the premium fuel, but not the Toyota 4Runner. So pricing's out, model specifications are out, the grading is out, the color configuration is out. What does that mean when we're going to be actually receiving these Toyota 4Runners? If everything goes well, they should start to arrive sometime towards the late winter, early spring of 2025 is when we're hoping to see these Toyota 4Runners land. Now let's go over and talk about the difference in fuel economy, and you can decide if it's going to be worth it for you to spend that extra $3,000 to $4,000 to go up to the TRD Off-Road Premium non-hybrid versus the hybrid, or just stick with the non-hybrid equivalent. As I previously mentioned, both hooked up to a 72-liter gas tank taking regular fuel. You're going to get about 11.1 liters per 100 kilometers combined city and highway fuel economy, which translates to about 25 miles per gallon on the non-hybrid 25 Toyota 4Runner. Now, there is an improvement going from non-hybrid to hybrid. Slight improvement, not such a huge gap like we see on some of the other non-hybrid versus hybrid Toyota models, but you decide and let me know in the comments below, are you going hybrid or non-hybrid? Because the hybrid iForce MAX powertrain system for the 25 4Runner gives you 10 liter per 100 average combined city and highway fuel economy, which translates to about 29 miles per gallon. Okay, so as you can see, let's just talk about it. The fuel economy is better, yes, on the hybrid equivalent, but not drastically better. Maybe not enough to say that it will save you the money back in a timely fashion when compared to the non-hybrid option. So the question lies, then why go with the hybrid? Well, you got to remember, hybrid's coming with a different territory. You got a totally different driving experience, more horsepower, more torque, much more responsive in terms of acceleration, potentially better resale value as well, because, well, Toyota does hybrids the best, and they're always high demand and hard to get your hands on. Also, another fact to keep in mind is that when you're going with the hybrid equivalent of the Toyota 4Runner, it's not necessarily going to give you the exact same models and options that the non-hybrid does. So for example, the Toyota RAV4, if you want an LE RAV4, an XLE RAV4, a limited RAV4, you can get all those models in the non-hybrid or the hybrid. However, if you want specific trims and models on the 25 Toyota 4Runner, like the TRD Pro, like the Platinum, like the Trailhunter, which we'll talk about all these pricings in just a second, then you have to go with the hybrid equivalent. So you're getting a much more niche product, much more different and capable product in terms of off-roading, in terms of whatever those capabilities that you need are, and you're getting the hybrid, which is going to save you fuel, which is going to give you a little bit more of an enjoyable drive in terms of responsiveness and acceleration. All right, let's go over the MSRP price tags for the 4 different model hybrid equivalent Toyota 4Runners for us here in Canada. $67,336 MSRP is going to get you into the hybrid equivalent of the Toyota 4Runner for 2025. We're looking at next up the Platinum grade. These are all 5-passenger guys. All the 4 different models on the Toyota 4Runner for 25 on the hybrid are 5-passenger. The Platinum giving you a MSRP Canadian of $73,698. The TRD Pro is going up to $80,498 Canadian MSRP, whereas the top model, the most advanced, the most capable model being the Trailhunter for 2025, again, 5-passenger, iForce Max, turbo 4-cylinder hybrid powertrain system, giving you $84,201 Canadian dollar MSRP price tag. Now, before I get all the comments in the comment section about the pricing and the increase, guys, keep in mind the actual pricing is not too far off from the 2024 grades, depending on what trim and what model you're looking at. You got to keep in mind, this is a full revamp. This isn't a soft refresh or redesign like we saw with 2024 Camry to 2025 Camry. This is huge. The Toyota 4Runner previous generation has been out for a long time, and now with the latest, it's got the latest tech, those super large multimedia screens, Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, wireless phone charging. I mean, if you look at the 2024 SR5 MSRP, it's only up by about $810 from 2024 to 2025. When you go up to different models like the TRD Sport and the Off-Roads and the TRD Pros, yes, they do have a larger price gap. For example, the TRD Sport from 2024 to 2025 has a price gap of around $2,400 Canadian. But keep in mind, there is a lot of new content coming in to that TRD Sport from 24 to 25. Okay, what was the Canadian MSRP of the TRD Pro for 2024? It was $68,640, up to the new Canadian MSRP of the 25 Toyota 4Runner at $80,498. Yes, that's almost a $12,000 price gap. But again, this is not the same TRD Pro that we've seen in previous models. Same goes for the TRD Pros on the current gen to the previous gen Toyota Tundras, Toyota Tacomas. We've now got a completely different powertrain system, better fuel economy, better acceleration, better overall enjoyment and experience from the consumer, from the buyer, from the customer. So keep in mind, these price gaps are warranted, and they are very hard to avoid when you're making such aggressive big changes like Toyota did. Now, although the hybrid Toyota 4Runners are 5-passenger versus those 2 non-hybrid Toyota 4Runners that you can get in the non-hybrid option, which comes 7-passenger being the SR5 again and the Limited, both interior space is quite the same. Of course, when you put the 3rd row up, you're going to have much less cargo space in the back trunk area. But in terms of overall space between the seats, it's quite similar, giving you 34.8 inches of legroom in the 2nd row and 41.8 inches of legroom in the front row. This is pretty much identical for the hybrid Toyota 4Runner versus the non-hybrid Toyota 4Runner. Now, the 2 other models that you can get for the non-hybrid Toyota 4Runner 2025 are the TRD Sport and the Off Road Premium. Both of these come in a 5-passenger configuration, as I previously stated, and the TRD Sport has a Canadian MSRP of $59,002, whereas the TRD Off Road Premium has a $63,702 MSRP price tag. All right, everyone, let me know in the comments below. Are you going for the non-hybrid? Are you going for the hybrid? Do you wish Toyota made a 7-passenger configuration in the hybrid? Well, perhaps that wasn't possible. You've got a high voltage battery in the hybrid equivalents, which may or may not have interrupted the option to put a third row in the back of that Toyota 4Runner. But let me know what you think in the comments. Are you going for the non-hybrid, the hybrid? Do you like the new horsepower ratings, the towing capacity, the new body, the standard equipment, Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, heads-up display, power rear tailgate? If you guys remember, back in 2023, 2024, and previous models and years, a power rear tailgate was never an option ever on Toyota 4Runner, unless at least for us here in Canada. So now that we have that standard on select grades with a rear kick sensor, this is all huge news in the Toyota 4Runner world. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and discussion and review. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care.